welcome to the Dicebreaker Podcast.
Hello.
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 How are you all doing on this wonderful Friday morning?
It's
Afternoon.
so the afternoon,
Oh
Maddie.
God.
It's so the afternoon.
It's Sludge Friday
Like,
and I'm losing my mind.
It's not even like a little bit in the morning. Yeah, I'm doing all right, thank you. Happy Sludge Day. Happy I can't
Sludge
think.
Day.
I can't think because it's Sludge Day.
Welcome to the
Dog's
Dicebreaker
growling.
Podcast. I'm here. I'm Maddie.
Yeah.
I'm here with Alex Meehan. How are you doing?
Hi, hello. I'm doing great. I'm enjoying Liv's expressions, presumably as she wrangles her son.
He's fine. This is not why I haven't been on the podcast for several weeks. This is fine.
Yeah, passing over
Yeah.
to you, Liv. How we doing? How's your
Hi.
son?
I'm doing so good. My son is thriving. I'm thriving. We're doing so good.
Yeah.
Liv has a puppy called Biscuit. And
Yeah.
He's
I'm-
chosen this afternoon to be rowdy.
She's always rowdy me, and I've just hidden it from the public for so long. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Come say hi. Come say hi.
He's rowdy
Come
in
say
a
hi.
fun way.
He's not going to come say hi. I will
No.
I'll keep trying to wrangle him, but in the
Yeah.
meantime, how's it? What's going on?
Hello to everyone out there and live chat. It's great to have you here.
Yes.
We're gonna try and work around the dog noises. I think it will add to the experience.
It
but-
adds to the
Yeah.
ambiance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, the ambiance. The three of us have taken over.
Yeah.
Bosses aren't here. Matt's not here. Wills is not here.
Mhm.
So now we've taken it over, so we can just do what we want.
Yeah. Growling.
Let loose.
Growling.
We're acting rowdy.
Yeah, it's great.
At one point before we started this podcast, we were once again considering just throwing our usual tabletop gaming talk out the window to make this a Twilight exclusive podcast.
I'm still not over it. If you want me to make a thumbnail that's Twilight, I will do it. I
We'll
will
just
just
swap it out
change it
halfway
in the
through the
middle of it. We'll just do it. It'll be fine. And
No one would know.
No one will know.
Like,
no one's gonna know.
we did
We
it.
delete the video afterwards. No one knows.
We're
No
also
one has
that
any
busy, they'll
evidence.
never know. They can't get mad at
Yeah.
us, they'll never know.
And
Exactly.
our viewers wouldn't say anything. You
No,
wouldn't say
because
anything.
they can keep it
Also,
secret, right?
Yeah.
Keep it secret. Yeah.
One day we will actually do this. We
That'll
will
be the
get
secret
some-
stream that me and Liv
Yeah.
keep saying we're gonna do.
Stream. Yeah, the secret stream is that you don't know what it is, but it's always Twilight.
Yeah, it's always
That's
something Twilight.
Secret.
We have multiple times considered like filming a recreation of the first
Mhm.
Twilight.
Yes. We
Uh,
cast it
and-
fully, we're ready.
Yeah, it's fully
Mhm.
cast.
So
It's cast. Sorry if you were hoping to be cast in the Twilight remake, everyone, but it's
Yeah,
it's we're
sorry.
holding it up.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Casting is closed.
It's just Dicebreaker team.
Yeah, I was given the role of Bella, of course.
Our queen.
I'm Edward.
And I'm
Nothing's gonna outrun me.
I am every single other character.
Yeah.
Because I can't pick. I have to be them all.
Yeah, Maddie's everyone else.
I like to
As if you
believe
could
I
find me
have the
off.
range.
You do have the range. It's true. It would be disservice to the community to not have you as everyone else. To be honest,
Mm.
honestly, you should be playing Edward and Bella too. But we just
Yeah,
we
we
can do
didn't
it.
want to overwhelm you.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
Too
release the
much.
Maddie cut one day when it's me playing every single character, including Edward and Bella.
Would love. Cannot wait.
Yeah, like I was gonna say something else on that, but I think
Mhm.
that's the Twilight section of this particular episode
Wrapped
done.
up.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
I think if we did it, we would turn up on Monday morning in the meeting, and
And we'll
Matt
be
would just
fired.
be sat there.
An email would have already been in our inbox saying, I need to speak to you all. 9 a.m. Monday morning. Please come be there.
Yeah, and then we turn up and they're like, "Do you want to explain yourselves?" And we're like, "We don't know what we're
You
talking
don't-
about." Yeah, we don't know what you're talking
You
about.
That
guys-
wasn't us.
Approved
What?
the thumbnail where it was all Twilight. I don't, you guys, I never remember you saying.
Yeah.
We delete the Slack message where we put the thumbnail that is on now and we replace it with that one and say, see, you said it was a good idea.
It was fine. You were like, oh, I love that.
So cute.
Like Matt Jarvis thinking that he improved it.
Oh, you proved
No,
it.
we
But
we,
yes.
we we will probably do something Twilight related at one point because we at this stage we literally have a WhatsApp channel, and the only thing we really use it for is just to post things about Twilight, like TikTok, like that's his only purpose.
we do not address each other. We do not ask how we're doing. It's Twilight memes.
They've got to go somewhere, okay?
Like, it's pretty active. I'll say, like, there's at least something once a week, maybe a couple of things. We find something constantly.
Excellent stream. Also, the fact that it's called the Powerpuff Girls, so it's not even entitled anything to do with Twilight.
Alright, we'll change that.
Look,
we'll change it.
We already established that we who is which Powerpuff Girl.
Yeah. Would you like to guess, chat?
Yeah,
I want to
guess who we are.
Everyone, guess in the chat which Powerpuff Girl you think we are.
Yes, play our game, chat.
Yeah, you can also contact us at Join Dicebreaker with You can also send us an email. That's contact at dicebreaker.com for all your various podcasting needs and questions and which one of us is which Powerpuff Girl. But enough of that.
I would love it if you didn't put anything in the subject line, just put like bubbles in.
Matt Jarvis's face is like... No, he wouldn't. He would know exactly what it's. He would know exactly who's to blame.
Like, it is 8 minutes past 2. They're on the podcast. I know what this is about.
What's happening?
No, you didn't come here for. Well, you came here for this because this is great banter, but you also came here because on the Dicebreaker podcast we primarily talk about tabletop gaming stuff.
Yeah.
All the hottest news, what we've been playing, and of course. This episode's section, comedic role-playing games, because there's a Monty Python like official role-playing game coming out.
Which is so fun.
That we covered on www.dicebreaker.com. Exclusive. Well, there's a feature that you can read right now. Where Matt Jarvis has talked to the people directly involved.
Damn.
In the tabletop role-playing game. But don't go there yet. Watch the rest of it.
Straight from the Python's mouth. But also, stay here.
Yeah.
And then you can read it afterwards. But let's start by talking what we've been playing. Maddie, what have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing? Obviously, every single week I played the same RPGs, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I love that for you. Love it.
Eternal D&D.
I love Eternal D&D. It's my favorite module.
Something new that I played is I finally played Everdell for the first time. It's like been on top of my like the top of my board game wish list for so long because I love little creatures like little woodland animals. Big Red Wolf fan. I went to Cambridge to visit a board game cafe called I know it's the box, but something else. I feel like it's got like a longer title than that.
The box?
Yeah, it's
the box cafe.
There's something. I think it's slightly longer, but I think if you search the box Cambridge, you would get the board game cafe. It's very cute.
Okay.
It's very nice.
We do actually have a list of the the best board game cafes in the UK that you can look at right now. I don't know if that one's on it, but tell us about Everdell, Maddie.
Yeah, Everdell is a game about you're playing like little woodland creatures and you're building your own little city in the forest, but you're all kind of competing for resources and like places to get resources, and basically you build your city through cards, so you're also competing for cards and they kind of like match up together, and like you're kind of like you're like building like a desire to have specific cards, and then you're kind of competing if someone else is doing the same. It's very fun. All the pieces are incredible, like all the little resource pieces, all the little meeples of the little animals. I was playing as squirrels. They're very cute. It's great. All the artwork is incredible. It's just straight out of Redwall. Big like, how did this not get copyright infringement on Redwall? This is definitely a book cover or something, but in the best way. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's very cozy, very cute. Perfect for like this rainy September weather that we've been having over here in Brighton.
Shut up.
Biscuit, do you
Not
like
you,
Everdell?
Biscuit's like, I'm one of the creatures in Everdell, like me. Yeah.
Something to say. I'm cuter.
Oh my god, pay attention to me. Shut up.
I love it, like making little burp sounds right.
Yeah, have you guys played?
I've never played it, but I've heard really good things. It seems to be pretty popular.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I like the art style. It's cute.
It's very cute. That was the only reason we picked it up. And I was like, okay, well, I'm happy. I'd heard good things, and then someone else picked it up for the artwork, and I was like, yeah, 100%.
Was it fun?
It was really fun. I would definitely play it again. It was really enjoyable. I would happily pick up a coffee sometime if I didn't already have so many board games that just fill my shelves. But yeah, I would definitely want to play some more of it. And then I played another game that's also about cute woodland animals, which is Mouse Ritter, which is like the OSR game RPG where you're playing a little mouse in a big wide scary world. It was really, really fun. It's like a lot of good OSR games, like simplistic where it needs to be simplistic, but like crunchy in the ways it should be. One of the things I really enjoyed is your like inventory space. You on your character sheet you have like boxes where each of the things in your inventory go, like torches, rations, and so like you have limited space on how many things you can hold because that little like literally like physical little cards that you have to place in your inventory, and you can make your own as well. I like something about like cutting out my own little square and drawing my own little picture and writing like when I find something in a dungeon and putting it on is very satisfying. Yeah, and it's fun having the tension of the game being that like you're a tiny little mouse, so if you walk into a room and there's like masses of spider webs everywhere and like a big spider, you're like, oh, this is like terrifying, I need to get out of here, despite the fact it's just like some spider
I am
webs.
anyway, but
Like, I'm
in real life.
yeah, regular day.
But it's even worse because you're a tiny mouse and you will get eaten and be killed.
There is a really big boy that's guarding the door downstairs, and I live in Spider Heights basically, so like I go outside my door, on my front door there's a guy who will just occasionally drop down like Aya, and I'm like, please get off my front door. And then I go downstairs to take him out constantly. So there's one that's like just all like the final boss when I'm trying to like escape from the flat. And he's like, "Oh, you're right," and I'm like, "Hey,
love, how are you?
Don't you talk to me? Don't talk to me." I'm
give us a smile.
Give us a smile. That's him. But yeah,
you're being heckled by a spider. Maddie, we need to save Liv from Spiderland.
Please do. Someone, please.
We need to like cut in there with swords like Samwise saving Frodo.
I'll be honest.
Maddie's
I am absolutely terrified of bugs of every single kind. So
didn't you have a centipede situation?
Oh my
this
god!
week?
Yesterday morning, in fact, I go into my closet. I have like my clothes are on a rail in this like little room that's like a really big cupboard, but it's still like a cupboard space. So I just have clothes in there. It's cramped. I go and I pull the little string light, looking through my rail, and then my eye looks up. Huge centipede, like the biggest I've ever seen, like this big, and it has all its horrible little long legs, and it's just like crawling along the wall. I freak out, run upstairs. I have to pressure Oliver to come and look at it, even though I know that he doesn't want to look at it. He has to go in there with some tissue. He gets too scared.
Want to marry me?
Yeah,
you must do this.
He's too scared as well.
Oh, like he like goes up to it gingerly because I need my clothes, and I'm not going back in there until he fixes it.
Close the door. I'm not going back.
I just don't have any clothes ever again.
Maddie did threaten the other day. She was like, I haven't got any clothes, and we were like, please find clothes. Please get some clothes, please.
I just don't have any t-shirts. I have jumpers and like skirts and jeans, but I haven't got like anything like in the middle. Because that's the centipede room now. Because Oliver tried to get the centipede and it fell off the wall, and then we freaked out, and there's loads of boxes in there, and it just lives in there now. So
oh no,
that's
where it is. That's worse than being able to see it. Because now you're like, you know it's in there, but it's hiding.
Yeah.
It's like lurking in there, waiting for you to come out.
The worst thing was, 10 minutes later, I had to go into like this big bag of shoes I have in the back of that cupboard and like reach around to find some walking boots, and it was horrid. Yeah, that was my Thursday. I'm so brave.
It's we've all had bug encounters.
Yeah.
Although
Oh,
I
no.
don't think I have. I know. No bug encounters on this area. Liv will be back shortly, I'm sure. I think her
trouble.
son is causing distress.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, have you been playing anything else, Maddie?
No, that was my main two things, I'm pretty sure. What have you been playing?
Oh my goodness. This week I've been playing more Gloomhaven Digital
Nice.
as per. Oh, she's got her son now.
Ah.
He's been caught. He's been wrangled.
He was getting ready. I could see him lining up, getting ready to
To
defecate.
do what, Liv?
To defecate me.
We almost had a live poo on the toe.
No.
A Dicebreaker first, hopefully.
Yeah.
As far as
You
we
would
know.
hope so.
Yeah, you can be like, I was there when Dicebreaker had its first live poo.
Like,
But,
you'll remember where you were when you saw the moon landing. You remember where you were when you saw the poo landing. You remember all of it.
We've been playing more Gloomhaven Digital, which continues to be interesting. Every single session that we play lasts about 3 hours.
Oh wow.
Because the game seems to be it's most likely one of our computers or our internet connections that is basically making the game run at 0.500 speed, where it's just we'll do our go, we'll input our actions all at once, and then the game to actually be okay, this we're gonna input these actions now, we're gonna actually do them, that takes sometimes every time that happens it can take minutes to do, because it will we'll do our things and that doesn't take too long, but then it's the enemy turns just take so long to do, especially when there are 10 guys on the screen, and it's oh no. They all have to go now, I suppose. And most of them are just walking to spaces, but the time it takes them to do that is agonizingly long, because it's there are also big gaps between each thing happening, and at various points we're oh no, has it crashed again? No, it's just taking a very long time. So we're actually finding it a lot easier with 4 players now, because it just, I wonder whether that was always just a balancing issue where having 4 players does make things a lot easier to deal with. We've managed to win every single mission we've had since we've had 4 players, which is rare for us. Even with mistakes being made, as they always will do. But it's still enjoyable. I feel maybe we're just going through a spot of much more missions that we could cope with a lot better. There are a few that we've looked at and we're oh, okay, remember that one? That was bad. Do we want to try that one again? But yeah, I think a lot of us are just hoping that we can fulfill our character requirements so we can actually play as a new character, because you can't change characters until you're the character you're playing as.
Which part are you playing, Meehan?
I don't actually mind my character too much. I'm playing the rogue.
Yeah, the scoundrel one?
The
or is it an actual?
scoundrel, the scoundrel. She's pretty fun. She's very glass cannon, and a lot of the cards that I'm unlocking are oh, that's disgusting. As I'm getting better with playing her, and it definitely helps for having more allies as well, because a lot of her attacks are designed to be, you need to be flanking people basically. And now that we have more characters, and also one of them is particularly melee based, it's so much easier to pull those moves off. So I'm actually doing a lot more damage, and this is a much more enjoyable character now that I can do that. I think the others, my friend especially, is getting really bored with his Tinkerer character.
Oh really?
Yeah, the I can't remember. I think he's called the Tinkerer, but he's the guy who uses tools and does like a lot of supportive stuff and
like a lot of healing.
a bit of healing, but more like air effect stuff. And he's got a little battle bot guy.
Oh, okay.
Cute.
Maybe not the Tinkerer then.
Yeah, he's one of the quadlings. Are they called quadrings? He looks. We always call him a nerd because he looks like a bit of a dweeb character. But he's like, I just want a new character. Please please help me, because his requirement is to kill vermlings, and it's like we have to find specific missions with vermin.
I got my Tinker out of the way pretty quickly early on because I just made the objective to see their party exhausted 15 times, and I keep dying all the time. So it was super easy. It was great.
That is easy, yeah. But yeah, no, we're enjoying it. I've also been I played some Patchwork this week, which is always good. Fantastic to-play game. Where you're using tile to like fill in your board and make a little quilt. Perfect for the season.
That's very
Tis the
cozy
season
and seasonal
for Patchwork. Yeah. I think there is actually an autumnal one. They often release like rethemes, or I think there's definitely a Christmas one. And there's like an Americana style one. The only changes they have is just the way that the tiles look. But yeah, Patchwork was fun. And yesterday, myself, Matt, and Chase Carter, Texan boy, news writer extraordinaire, we played Ahoy.
Nice.
How was that?
On Board Game Arena. No, not Board Game Arena. Tabletop Simulator. There's a demo of it, like a digital version on TTS right now. And Ahoy is the new game from Later Games. It's technically a remake of a previous game that was like sci-fi themed. I can't remember what it's called. But this is, as the name suggests, pirate themed, or nautical themed at least. And the artwork is by Carl Farron, the illustrator who did the artwork for Root, and it looks really great. Like one of the factions is like mollusk people, so they're like little snail guys. They're great, and there's like a
you played as them.
Yeah, I no, but I didn't choose them. They were randomly assigned to me.
Of course, they were randomly assigned.
I'm just the mollusk guys now. Just little snail guys. And like the cards in the market are all themed around like fish people and crab guys and stuff. It's really, really cute. But this is an interesting game. It's like a very there are factions, but it's nowhere near as complicated as something like Root. It's not designed by Cole Verley. I can't remember who the designer is. But it's got the kind of Later Games vibe to it. And it's actually, we had a really good time with it. There are like technically 3 different factions, but 4, like it goes up to 4 players. And like there's the swordfish faction, I believe, there's the mollusk faction, and there's 2 smugglers who operate pretty much exactly the same. But the mollusk faction and the swordfish faction operate differently. And for the 2 like main, like the 2 opposing factions, their goal is to get like fame through like area control, whereas the smugglers get fame through delivering goods across like the map. So the swordfish faction, they operate around having these little ships that they send out. And they get points at the end of every round for having like basically dominance, like having the most ships in regions. Whereas the mollusk faction operate by having these little like tokens that can only exist on islands. And they get like points for having dominance through that. But like the kind of way that they differentiate is it's a lot easier for the mollusks to like get those tokens out, like quite a lot of them each round, whereas the swordfish is a little more difficult to get patrols out. but the patrols can actually move through like regions, and also they're a lot more. They have like things that allow them to like bombard, which destroys all of the mollusk tokens on an island, for example. So I'd say the mollusks are a lot more like they're not as aggressive. They're a lot more like, oh, I'm going to use this opportunity to kind of move my things across islands and like spread them out as much as possible, but they're vulnerable. Whereas the swordfish faction is a lot more like, I'm going to sort of retaliate against the mollusk faction and then like put my patrols out to kind of control those areas. Whereas the smugglers, they're not designed to be as like getting involved in the conflict. Their concern is more like, I want to try and get this cargo from this location to this location. But every time that they deliver cargo to a region, the worth of that region goes up, which means whoever controls that region gets more points. So the smugglers' actions do actually affect the other factions as well. And like, if they're just left to their own devices too much, they're going to start racking up a lot more points in the other factions and be like, hang on, you're winning. It's pretty good. It has that thing that, like games with factions, asymmetric games where like people play differently and they're racing to get points. It has those elements that, I enjoy about those games, which is you got to keep an eye on what you're doing, but also what other people are doing. It kind of forces you to interact. I enjoyed it. It's funny, like we were talking about, obviously we played Arcs, which is the next game from Colverley, also being published by Later Games, also illustrated by Kyle Ferrin. When we played a preview version of that, we were all a bit disappointed. Myself, Chase, and Matt, we were all we were underwhelmed by it because like we've been given the impression that it's this big epic game of huge scope and like each player character has their own kind of unique experience. It just did not feel like that, and the parts that we liked about it were the parts that weren't actually the ones that were mostly being pushed.
Like what I heard about it was that it was going to be kind of like a legacy game / kind of RPG-ish board game.
They were pushing a lot of the storytelling aspects of it, and again, we didn't play the version that apparently has those in it. We played, because Arcs has 2 versions specifically, and the version that has the narrative elements of it is more expensive. And there was a big sort of to-do with the fact that they had chosen to do that, because originally there was just going to be one version that was going to be the complete game. And we don't 100% know why they did it, but we assume there are financial reasons, because a lot of publishers are struggling at the moment with shipping problems and finding materials and the costs of producing especially massive games with lots of stuff in them. And obviously the narrative elements added to all the stuff. But we were curious as to whether even if the narrative elements were added, whether that would actually make it that much better an experience, because the core gameplay itself is fine, but it's not like, it didn't blow us away. Whereas with Ahoy wasn't, like amazing. It wasn't revolutionary playing it, but we had a lot, to be honest. We had more fun with that than we had with Arcs. Like we were like, this is nice. This is charming. It's like relatively, the concept is strong. I mean, obviously it's again a remake of an existing game, but like it's still like we want to play that again. Like, it was fun. Whereas when we played Arcs, we were like, we probably want to play again. We want to play the other version just to see whether it's better, rather than we enjoyed ourselves. But Alka Gold says, is Matt Jarvis still alive? Yes, he is. He's got the afternoon off, as he should. He works very hard. But I'm sure he'll be back on the podcast soon.
He loves it.
He does enjoy the podcast. He's just been a very busy man recently. He's had a lot going on.
And you should know about what's been going on fairly soon, probably. So
it's very warning. I don't know why I say warning.
Warning.
Exciting. There are very exciting things happening over in Dicebreaker Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The land we live in.
There's the Twilight section. There's the there's the gun section.
I refuse to leave the Twilight section. You can claw me away. Like...
There's just the horny section.
That's for you.
That's where I live. Yeah. They're like, oh, me in the horny section again. Get her out.
Oh, God. Someone get the spray. Get the hose.
No water pistols.
So down. Yeah, no, there's very exciting things happening at Dicebreaker at the moment that I'm sure that you will all hear about very soon. We're all excited about it.
Yeah.
And obviously there's quite a few events coming up that we are going to confirm. Essen and PAX Unplugged. We're very excited about those. But yeah, Nat Jarvis is very busy and he deserves to have a break. But yeah, other than that, that's everything I've been playing. Yeah. Okay. Liv, what have you been playing?
I've been this is going to be disappointing, so I'm just going to say that up top. And also, I'm just going to mention as well, there's a lot of stuff coming to the video side of things as well. Waggle eyebrows, so just keep your eyes on it.
I thought you were saying waggle waggle, like
waggle eyebrows,
like thinking out of Muppets. Oh, I can't remember.
Waggle waggle.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Waka Waka?
Yeah, Waka Waka.
Right. Yeah.
Waka Waka. Yeah.
Waka Waka.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fuzzy
in terms
Bear,
of that's me. I'm Fuzzy
Bear. Yeah, you are Fuzzy Bear. That's true.
In terms of things I've been playing, honestly, not much, because we've been very busy here on the video team. We're busy across Dicebreaker.
Yeah, we're all busy.
Well, yeah,
we're all very busy all the time.
Very busy. We've been particularly physically busy over the last week or so.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out on Saturday for some more information on that.
Ooh.
Should we mention? That's tomorrow. We should just mention what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why not?
Yeah.
The
very
amazing
exciting
video
and fun.
that you've been
very
doing
tiring.
this week.
Yes, exactly. The wild video we've been doing this week is so we've seen what is it like to eat food like a D&D character, right?
Yeah, that was a great video that everyone should watch.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you can see it on the channel right now. But also, we wondered, what is it like to then burn off what you eat? What is it like to exercise like a D&D character, gang?
Whoa!
What is it like?
What a fantastic concept.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought of it because I was like, damn, I need to exercise more. And then I was like, what if I make it fun by flavoring it like I'm a D&D character? The answer, you'll have to find out the answer. I'll tell you for sure that it's hard to...
Yeah.
It's hard to do. But you'll see a bunch of really cool stuff like sword fighting in particular, and and maybe some climbing some things, blah blah blah. So yeah, you should check it out tomorrow on the channel.
What time, Liv? Can people expect an amazing video?
Around about 6 p.m. BST, probably.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, people will have to rush over to, if they're listening to this podcast on Spotify, for example, to Dicebreaker. No, sorry,
YouTube.com/Dicebreaker. You got it.
YouTube.com/Dicebreaker. Yes.
That's the one.
Fun thing is, you can just hit the notification bell and it'll tell you. You don't have to. It'll remind you.
Oh my
If
God.
you're forgetful like me, that's a great thing to do.
Yeah. And if you subscribe, then that video will go straight into your subscription.
Straight there. You'll be like, oh, thank you, YouTube. Right.
Yeah, thanks, YouTube.
Thanks so much. Anyway, yes, stuff I've been playing is not much. I've also played a bit of Gloomhaven Digital for the first time recently. It is there's a lot to consider with everything you do, Meehan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also playing solo, so I'm controlling 4 characters at once.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know why I've done this to myself, but but yeah, I'm struggling quite a lot, but I do like the challenge of it. It's meant to be hard, which I appreciate. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've literally got Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion over there, and I need to actually
same.
And play it.
It's just okay. I have something to confess, everyone.
Oh, here we go.
I know. Let's get real. I'm turning my chair around.
Okay.
I got a copy of Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. It's what, almost 2 years ago now. I've
Yeah.
not opened it.
Nothing to look. No. I got it for Christmas
I'm so sorry,
last year.
Mr.
So-
Jarvis. I'm
People are
so
rioting
sorry.
right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm really. I
mad.
feel like I've let everyone down. I've let Matt Jarvis down, and I hate doing that. But like, I've got to try and trick people into playing it with me.
I was gonna say, it's one
What
of
do
those
you
things
mean?
that it's a big commitment, and trying to get people to commit to a big commitment, like you're like, it's like that's gonna be like a whole weekend thing at least.
Yeah, if not
I
several
mean,
sessions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
yeah.
to
No,
start
and I
with.
want to play it real bad because my friends are like, who have played it, are like, it's really good, and also it's just a more stripped down version of Gloomhaven, which, to be honest, I appreciate that. But I have had some friends recently move down here, so I might, trick them
Yeah,
into
man.
playing with me.
I love you. Keep saying the word trick, Alex, man. Why? What's about that?
I would never deceive anyone. I mean,
You
I
keep
feel like
saying
I've
the word. Mhm,
I've
but
made these wonderful cookies. Would you
Right.
like to come over? And
Just
they'll be like, oh no.
little crumbs that they have to follow the trail on, and then like under a
Yeah.
box with a stick is Gloomhaven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
They look up. They're
Oh,
under a
yeah.
huge box. Your house
Yeah.
is a huge box.
Yeah, I do live in a box, it's true.
Mhm.
Living in a cardboard box.
The
Yeah.
stick topples
Mhm.
out the way, they're locked in,
I
Gloomhaven's
know.
there. Might
Yeah.
as well play.
Might as well. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not leaving.
No.
You're never leaving.
If
yeah.
that's everything you played, Liv.
No, well, I've also got a Steam Deck, so that's a new thing that I have.
Oh
Have you
god,
picked it up
okay,
yesterday
right.
afternoon?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yes.
here it is.
It's in there.
It's
So
in here.
Will's was showing his off last week,
Mhm.
and now
Mhm.
Liv has got one.
Yeah.
I got it.
And Maddie and I are like, we're cool too.
You'll see that I'm playing Cuphead currently, and I'm struggling with it
Oh.
Wow.
that.
Why are
Ah.
you doing this to yourself?
because I love to play only Gloomhaven and only Cuphead. Those are my
Yeah.
two games that I play,
Hey,
and I
it's good
love
know
to
what you
suffer.
like. Stick
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
I am a masochist. Yeah. So
I'm gonna cut that audio out. You don't. I'm gonna ask
I
Maddie to do it because I don't know how.
Yeah, no, don't do this.
Breaking
but,
news.
Liv Kennedy confirmed. Confirmed Liv Kennedy. But yeah, no, it's really cool. I'm trying my best to get used to like the controls for it, because like it's like my brain is trying to kind of reprogram everything that I've learned to play on the PC into a handheld thing, which is like my brain's like no, and I'm like, please let me jump against the monster, please. Like aside from that, like yeah, the games play perfectly on it, and it's just in your hands, and it's wild. Yeah, and I'm currently trying to download Apex Legends, even though it's going to be a huge download, but I think that's going to be really fun to play. So I'm excited to do that. But yeah, big fan. A big shout out to Chloe, who got it for my birthday. So yeah,
Shout out,
Oh.
Chloe.
yeah.
Birthday.
It was my birthday. Yeah, she got it for
Chloe
me.
is very generous.
Yeah, I cried for 20 minutes.
On the Steam Deck.
Not on the Steam Deck. I did not have it, but like, yeah, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it for you," and I was like, for like a good while.
Don't. But do.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So that's what I've been crying over this week. Thank you.
Essentially, what's happening here is that this is the Steam Decks are slowly taking over, and soon this is just going to be about Steam Decks and not about
Secret stream, Steam Deck stream.
Deckbreaker.
I'll get a piece of cardboard and like draw on it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, this is so. And I'll put one of those. Did you ever have one of those like fake Game Boys that were just water? There was just water, and you
You like press the buttons and
press
like
the buttons and it blows the
Oh
bubble.
God, that just literally unlocked a memory. What the? Oh wow.
I'll
But
put
yeah.
one of those in there in the cardboard, and I'll be like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is so fun!"
And we'll be like, okay, so me and Will's gonna play against each other. You two play against each other. Yeah, over there, go.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, man, I can't believe you did that.
no, my fish is going in the water.
Oh bless him. They'll sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
yeah. No, we will. The excitement of that is
Very
too much.
Yeah.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I've not done. Look, like I said, we've been. Okay.
Yeah. Liv had her birthday this week.
I did have my birthday this week.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm still in my 20s, still, for now. And so that was a thing. But also apart from that, the video team has just been crawling our way up and Icarusing very close to the sun. We haven't burned our wings yet, but we're very.
Every one of us has big wax wings, and we love how they look in the sunlight. And we love to fly higher and higher and look at them in the beautiful glistening sun.
Oh,
and nothing bad will ever happen.
No.
Yay!
Is that a little bit of melted wax? No, it's not.
No. That's just my tears because I'm so happy to be so close to the sun.
Everyone is okay, and don't worry about it. We're getting through it.
We're driven by creativity, and also we want to make you laugh. And smile.
We just keep getting excited by big ideas, and then end up getting really busy with them, which is really fun and great. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And then Matt Jarvis is like, you need to be realistic, please.
And we're like, no. You can't make me.
We're gonna recreate the whole of Twilight.
Shot for shot, Matt. Shot for shot.
Shot for shot. Be like that person on Twitter who does like the cheap cosplay. We'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
100%. I would love that. Yeah. So that's me.
Cool.
Nice.
We're gonna move on to a little bit of news, just to, like a little sliver, a little appetizer. News. It's been a relatively quiet week, but the main thing that I thought would be good for us to talk about, because we've all played Wingsman, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. All the children go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss.
It's fun.
And I'm sure plenty of you have played Wingsman as well, because it's pretty damn popular. It's the game about birds.
Yeah.
The game.
Burbs. The burbs are in it. It was in an episode of Coronation Street.
Was it Corey?
More famously known from Coronation Street. Yeah.
Yeah. Famously known from Coronation Street. Yeah. The designer behind Wingsman, Elizabeth Hargrave, confirmed that she's got a new game coming out. Well, obviously there's the Fox Experiment, which is the Fox Experiment is currently on Kickstarter, which she co-designed with Jeff Frazier. Sounds really interesting. We may or may not have something about that coming up soon. Very interesting. But she also revealed to us that there is another new game coming out.
Wow.
It's not got a name yet. This is how fresh this hot scoop is.
Wow.
It's smoking this hot scoop is. Yeah.
Carry on.
It's carrying on like Hargrave's sort of nature thing sort of going on. It'll be about the connection between trees and fungi.
Love that. So interesting. Fungi are so interesting. They're like can't even be classified as plants.
You sounded sarcastic.
I know.
I mean, because I spent so much time with Maddie, I was like, yes, that is genuine. Yeah, absolutely. But to clarify,
when I get that a lot. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely very interested in fungi. I think they're very cool.
I've got to pronounce
They're all
it.
fun guys. So fun.
The concept of mycorrhiza. Probably butchered that.
I can't help that.
Which is the symbiotic relationship between mushrooms and trees. Basically, there are certain trees that, in their roots, form like root networks with fungi. Sort of almost symbiotic relationship. And this game would be, people would be one of these trees, and they would be attempting to spread their saplings as far as they can, using this network they have with the fungi. It could be called Mother Trees. Or Mother Tree, not
Big Mama. Big Mama Tree?
Big Mama Tree. Big Mama's Tree.
Big Mama's Tree. Great, can't wait for
we
Big Mama's
could
Tree.
still name the podcast the way we used to. That would definitely be what this is called.
Big Mama's Tree.
It would be called the Twilight Podcast, ; Big Mama's Tree.
I would click on that. I'm just saying.
I would, for sure.
Because the term given to these trees that are kind of massive and form these networks are called mother trees.
Ah.
A Kickstarter campaign for the game is coming sometime next year. Not a confirmed date. Again, not a confirmed name. We don't have any pictures on it, but it's coming.
It's a fun concept.
It's coming.
Trees and fungi talking. That's so cute. I love that fungi talk to each other and that trees talk to each other. And
Just mate,
so much more connected than we ever knew or can understand right now, and that's very fun.
I find myself admiring like mushrooms from afar, so I'm very interested in seeing how they work. What's going on?
Is that your next like emo music, like your next emo band? I admire mushrooms from afar.
I am mushrooms from... Yeah, no, yeah.
Is that because like...
yeah, folks.
Mushroom next door. Yeah.
Are you admiring from afar because you're like wanting to stay back, or like you just never got close enough and you want to get closer? Like where's your line?
Get closer.
I think I want to get closer, and I think eventually I do when I work myself up to do it. But then that's when the spores seep into me, and then I become one with the mushroom.
I see. Is that the music video?
That's the kind of gross music video where I'm like, I'm taking over by
It's happening. I can literally see it in my mind's eye. Like you like going close to the mushrooms, and then there's like transformation taking place, and you become like a mushroom person, and
a
the
magical girl transformation.
I'm replaying Last of Us 1, so this is like very different thought process for me. I'm like, okay.
Oh no, honey, no, don't do it.
Mushroom magical girl, I'm all about that. I feel like we should circle back to that at a different point because I'm very interested.
Let's make a secret stream. Make a secret stream about magical mushroom girls. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Other articles.
Meehan?
What? Hello.
What? Before we jump into something else, I also got this massage machine.
Right. Okay.
So is it plugged in?
What is going on right now?
Hang on. Just give me a second. Oh, it's not plugged in. Hang on.
This isn't show and tell. You can't just bring
You
out...
asked me what I've been up to this week.
We're on the news, Liv. we passed that so long ago.
Just give me a second. Give me a second.
I'm so sorry to everyone listening to this now.
It's not doing it.
Liv!
Oh, is it broken?
For those...
Well, I'll let you know next week on the podcast.
That was thrilling. A little side away there to the massaging machine that Liv's got.
I mean, when I get it working, you'll see. So
I guess we could make it board game related. Like, you use that while you play board games.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. It looks like...
RGB gamer massage machine.
Yeah. Gamers. Hey, gamers.
Now you got a Steam Deck. You gotta have all the equipment for
you gotta have the accessories that go with them.
Just pop it against my neck.
Oh, wow.
Oh, great. What a wonderful...
Are you sponsored by this or something?
No.
Yeah, it's just like you had to fit this in at some point.
Yeah, did we
it's
have
just like
to?
a
Do I not know?
You're getting money if you can bring up the massage thing.
No, that would be very smart though. I'll just like say to random companies like, oh hey, I'll put you on the podcast. I'll do it. Just give me a free one. I'll do it.
I have a feeling Matt Jarvis would not agree to that. Just a little inkling.
Matt Jarvis doesn't. Do you just know
Matt
about
Jarvis
it?
No. Okay, so the other articles that maybe you want to check out are on Dicebreaker.com. There's a lovely little news piece about a new miniature coming that's based on the character of Dalinar Colin, who is from the Stormlight Archives series, which I very much like, fantasy books. There's like a set of miniatures coming out based on the characters that you can use for role-playing game and tabletop miniatures game. And Dalinar is confirmed. Known hot ass have a Dalinar Colin.
Who on earth?
That's canonical.
Are you like, oh, Liv, you can't show off your massage machine in the middle of the podcast, but then you start talking about hot ass.
It's relevant.
I'll be honest, her talking about hot ass is much more in keeping with the regular podcast schedule, so I'm with me on this one.
Hot dilf ass. Yeah, you can read about that. There's a lovely list of some of the best Yu-Gi-Oh! GX decks.
Ew.
So,
here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I
if
thought you were. I
enjoy
thought you
those
just like,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
ew,
What?
really loud.
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah. No.
Disgusting.
Right.
No, that's
Um,
great for all you Yugi heads or whatever you are.
All your Yu-Gi heads. Yeah.
All you Yugis out there.
We're being very sincere. We love this stuff. And there's also a great feature about Magic the Gathering Dominaria United. So if you want to know more about the new set that are coming out from Magic the Gathering, you can read all about that and more on Dicebreaker.com. But another news piece that was included on Dicebreaker.com that you can read right now is that there's a Monty Python role-playing game coming. It's the segment, everyone.
Here we are. We made it.
You made it. You made it.
Perfect
Everyone's
timing.
still watching and listening. You made it segment. Congratulations. You've earned an achievement. Yeah, so this new this official role-playing game that's coming out based on the works, the films, the television show, Monty Python's Flying Circus, all of it. Yeah, it's Monty Python's co-curricular medieval reenactment program is the official name.
Wow.
We'll draw from the entire backlog. So that's the music album, television shows, the films. I'm a big fan of Holy Grail.
Great.
And
yeah.
also Life of Brian. I remember watching that when I was younger. I didn't watch an awful lot of the television series because it was a bit before my time. And my parents didn't really watch it all that much, but we definitely watched like some of the films. Obviously, like a big inspiration is Holy Grail because it is based during like a mock medieval world. You can read more about the specifics on Dicebreaker.com, and you can tell us whether you're excited about the Monty Python RPG in the comments, in the web chat live right now, at Join Dicebreaker, contact at Dicebreaker.com. Yeah, but we figured this would be a good opportunity. Yes, Liv?
I've never ever watched anything to do with Monty Python. Is that I've never ever.
That's fine.
That's almost
Okay.
That's almost impressive that you've managed to go this far with like it not crossing your path enough to like
Yeah,
be forced
it,
to
like,
watch it at some
has.
point.
Like it has, but then I've just turned away from it and
I do
and
not
done something
see.
else. So
How much Monty Python stuff have you consumed, Maddie?
I'm exactly the same as you, me and Yak. I was a massive fan of Life of Brian and Holy Grail when I was younger. Like parents were big fans, so DVDs and stuff were in the house. But again, the TV show I've watched some of, not all of.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I know some of the key
yeah, they've
things.
appeared at some point, whether it's like a YouTube video or like I've seen a rerun somewhere or something. But,
You've got to have seen the Spanish Inquisition. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing.
That's almost impossible to escape. But we figured we would take this opportunity to talk about our sort of dream tabletop role-playing games that will be based on the kind of comic shows that we like or the comedians that we like. As like a what if we could have whatever we wanted, which we should get. We should get whatever we want, but unfortunately, that's not how life works.
We should.
Yeah, come on. We should. We deserve everything. And if you've got any suggestions or ideas for your like dream, comedy, like role-playing game based on a comedy show or comedians, let us know in the comments, in the chat at Join Dicebreaker. You know the drill.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna spitball it. There's also a disclaimer. If there's anything specifically that somebody has done and we don't know about, assume that we don't know about it.
Yeah, we don't know
Please
anything.
tell us if you're like, oh, this has already happened. Fantastic.
Oh no, I meant like if a comedian or like a certain group has done a bad thing, we probably wouldn't recommend or want something if that had happened.
Yes.
So assume that we don't know about this because we're not omnipresent. There you go. I felt like we had to put our disclaimer there because unfortunately sometimes comedians, as Monty Python the troop has shown, can sometimes have really bad opinions and do bad things.
They could do bad things.
We don't endorse that. But Maddie, Liv, do you have any specific ideas?
Unless you got something, Liv, sorry.
No, go for it, Maddie.
I was going to say, the first thing that came to my mind was because it came to my mind when we played another RPG. Is, you know, when we played Brindlewood Bay, and one of the options was the Blouse Barn Lady, and I was like, yes, big fan of Schitt's Creek. Yeah, and it just made me think, like, I would love a Schitt's Creek RPG. Like, it could literally just be, like, small town America, like, kind of stuff is always just, like, fun, like, having, like, a limited location, a lot of wacky, weird people, great. You can be in the motel, you can be getting to know people, trying to find your place there, being weird rich people coming into like a very different place. Fantastic. I'm all about it. I love Schitt's Creek.
Very nice.
Give it to me.
You heard, gang. Make Maddie a Schitt's Creek RPG, please.
Give it to me, please.
Yeah, I do. I really like Schitt's Creek, I have to say. I watched it, I think, early this year. At a recommendation, and it's just really good because it's one of those comedy shows where like there are characters in it who you're like who are flawed and have problems and are like you laugh at them for that, but also like they have character development and they're not like totally dislikable. It's one of the reasons why I really like Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, it has so much heart. Like when you first watch it, you're like, yeah, this is gonna be like funny, good stuff, and you're like, oh wow, I really care for all of these people. Like, they're so you know, such like 3D people. It's fantastic.
Liv, do you have any particular ideas?
Sure. I think that, well, I would have said maybe a few years ago, I would have said Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but unless it's about, you know, dismantling the establishment from the inside, probably not now.
That is the problem. I mean, like, I do also really enjoy Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but when I watch it, I'm like, okay, this is, these are the police. Like,
it's the popo. Can't deal with that.
Popo.
So apart from that, something that I think would do well right now, actually, is a Glee RPG.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So I think you have to be the weirdest little teen that you can possibly be. And then like instead of like battles, you have like, I don't know, sing-offs and stuff, and you have to like claw your way to the top of like the most popular member of the Glee club, and then you have to go to regionals and you have to do stuff like that. And I think it will be really funny and really stupid, and that is exactly my kind of thing. So I think that will be really good. In terms of like an environment that I would like to see a comedy version of that we don't have already, so there's a lot of spy RPGs, right, where you're playing a secret agent, but like something that's more like Archer, where you're like you're not taking it seriously. You are a rogue agent. Nobody knows how you're getting away with all of this nonsense, but you are. And I think that would be really fun as well. That's my take. I don't know.
That. I think that would be so fun. Glee, iconic. Glee RPG would just be iconic. Like, I feel like we're in such like
an interesting choice.
But we're in such like a 2010s TV like
Renaissance.
Like we're rewatching Twilight. We're like looking back at Glee and like the madness of it. Like
being like, oh wow, what a time to be alive.
Happening. Yeah.
Like, but we just let it happen.
Time.
We didn't question it.
No.
We were like, oh yeah, this is fine. It's fine that Schuster's singing the thong song. That's fine.
What a time capsule, because like it was just it could only exist in the years it existed, because now you're like, that is
my God.
wild. Before people weren't ready for it, but it was just, that was the perfect time. And
it really was.
We're ready for it.
I never watched Glee. I've never watched it.
Oh my God.
You can't watch it now.
I think I would die. Prince.
It's too late. The time is fast.
After we watch the next Twilight, you have to sit down and watch a few episodes of Glee with us, because that'll be funny.
How about we handpick like the best songs and the best moments?
Oh my God, there's so many wild ones. They do What Does the Fox Say? That's terrible.
Sounds horrible. You're not selling this to me.
They do.
The time
Big
is
Wheel
definitely
Keep on
fast.
Turning. They do Big Wheel Keep on Turning in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that.
No, that is a low point.
I can't believe this.
You can't do that. So like, and another aspect of the RPG could be like Like you have to check in on your Glee instructor to see if they're doing some wild stuff. You have to shut it down. If so, there's like a wildometer, and it's just going to keep going up. But you have to.
Can
you have
you
to shut
like
it down.
can like one person be like an antagonist and you play like trying to shut down the Glee Club? Yeah, like
you're the Sue Sylvester
you're
of the.
Sue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you look
head
at
of
this
the
and you're like,
Cheerios, and you're like,
all of this.
I will destroy the Glee Club. Like that's
Yeah.
my goal.
No, I'm much more on board with this. You're looking at it, you go, all of this is really bad. The relationships that some of these students have with some of the teachers is very inappropriate.
It's not good. Oh yeah, they sang blurred lines in the.
Oh no!
Okay, but
What? No!
It's so bad, but it's a bit of a bop. It's a bit problematic bop, you know? Like it's one of those songs that you're like, oh no, come on.
You know when you get really drunk
I'll
in
do a
the
little
club
dance to
and
it.
it comes
Oops.
on, and you're like, oh no,
Oh, no.
oopsie.
Oh, what's that
Oops,
beat?
it's just
Oh
kind of a
no,
bop.
oops. Oh.
No, but also don't do that. But also if you think about it, Sue Sylvester is the hero of Glee.
Yeah.
She's just trying to shut it down.
Well, now when you look back, you're like, oh no, she was right.
Yeah.
You know? We thought she was
100%.
antagonist, but she was the hero of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Trying
think
to
she's
stop these kids ruin their lives by involving themselves in this, like, it just looks so bad. Like your look is so bad right now. Like
Yeah, it's really bad. And then he's like, I'm the hero, and then he does Vanilla Ice, and it's so bad.
oh my god, no, the more you tell me about this, the worse it gets.
I
wanna
can't
watch
believe
it.
you haven't watched it. God, it's like the fact you don't
Wanna
know about
watch
this stuff is so
You're
wild.
like, Alex, you've got to watch some episodes, and I'm like, no, they sound like cringe hell.
Absolutely.
Oh,
You know how I
absolutely
feel about cringe hell.
Yes.
And then one of the mums gives like the kids like some like drugs to make them feel better, and like then they're just kind of like they're high, and then they're just performing songs, and then like, but it's like these are canonically supposed to be 15-year-old children. Why are you giving them? Why are we seeing this? Stop
This
doing
makes me think of, oh my god, what is that? Oh, this is bringing back a memory. There was a comedian who was like, I think he was Australian, or he was playing an Australian teacher, and like he did a musical about drugs or something, and like I think I'm having a fever dream.
I feel like I know the comedian that you're talking about.
Yeah, he wears like I think it's a wig that's like a, and he also does another character, and I can't remember what this is.
Are you thinking
but
about the guy that was like, where he like pretends to be the high school girl?
yes,
Yeah.
him.
I can't remember his name, but yeah.
No,
We
he
all-
does the
I
high
think we
school,
all
but
know.
he's
Yeah.
also like a drama teacher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Glee vibes, yes.
Yeah,
But
and
Glee is like unironic. The Glee is like full
yeah.
serious.
Glee is so
and I'm pretty
earnest.
sure they do a musical where it's like, oh, she like it's about a character who's like having too much sex and doing too many drugs, and it's like a high school musical. It's like,
Yeah.
it's really inappropriate.
Oh my god, yeah, it would also be, this RPG would also be a cross between Glee and High School Musical.
Oh,
So there will
yeah,
be
yeah,
elements
yeah.
of that in it.
But
Yeah.
I would be
like,
playing Sharpay.
So is Glee.
oh my god.
actually-
Oh, I'll have to okay, I'll be Ryan. It's
No,
fine.
I mean you are
Glee.
Sharpay. I'm the Ryan. You're Sharpay. We've decided.
no,
this.
no.
It was like
of
if you were
course not. No, you're
DMing,
Sharpay.
I would
You're
play Sharpay, but like obviously like I would rather be Ryan to your Sharpay because we'd have that dynamic. It'd be so fun.
Glee,
Look,
is Glee, Liv, is Glee actually a comedy?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? Like, wait, what do you mean?
Like
Like-
Glee,
Well,
Glee is
this,
everything.
this was your suggestion.
No, but like, is it funny? Is what you're trying to say?
No, but what I'm saying is that you brought it up as like you want an RPG based on it, and
Yeah.
this is the section is we're talking about RPGs based on comedy shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glee's a comedy.
When
Yeah.
we say like Glee is an
Is it though?
yeah,
Yeah, it
like Glee, half of Glee is taking the piss out of the idea of like the Glee Club. Like it's like when we say like
because
it's
I don't know.
earnest,
I
it's like
don't
it
know.
is
I've never watched it.
part
No,
of the
there's
thing. Is
like
yeah.
Glee, the show itself, like hates Rachel Berry. Like, and
Yeah.
Rachel Berry is like everything the Glee Club is supposed to be. And she, which is fair because she is awful. So they would also no. So okay, right. Sue Sylvester is the hero of Glee. The
yeah.
antagonist of Glee is Rachel Berry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, she needs to be taken down. She's the big bad evil
Oh,
guy
yeah.
of this RPG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her and her evil little accomplice, Will Schuster. So
Yeah.
Well, I must admit,
Yeah.
I didn't think this is where this would go, but I probably should have seen it coming,
Yeah.
considering
My
that
exact feelings.
it's you.
you asked me what comedy show I would want turned into an RPG.
Yeah, and Archer would
And
also be great.
Oh, I don't doubt this is what you want.
And you want the chaos, do you, Liv? Yes, don't mind if I do. Mia, what about you? What would you do then? Huh? What would you do?
We were actually talking about this yesterday. Not yesterday, the other day, when we were talking about this segment. And I immediately said Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which is like a cult UK comedy series, which is like basically meant to be a send-off of like old Doctor Who episodes, and you know, like basic low budget sci-fi, mixed with people who are in the show like genuinely believe that in what they're doing is good, but obviously it's really bad, and it's like a part documentary, part show, where Garth Marenghi is this like fictional author who's written these books, and he's like, I'm making a series based on them, and also starring in it and also directing it. And he is hugely egotistical, and he genuinely believes that what he's doing is like really good, and the cast for it is incredible. It's like got Matt Berry in it as part of the Matt Berry universe.
Nice.
It's got Richard Ayoade in it. One of in the documentary part, one of the characters just isn't there. Like the actress just isn't there because they're like, oh, she vanished and we never saw her again. And there's like a sort of semi subplot in that with they're like, we don't know what happened to that. And clearly there's been a cover up. But and the show itself is just amazing, like really funny. It's so bizarre, like amazing, horrible, like special effects and practical effects, but it's done with like complete sincerity, and I can just imagine the most amazing role-playing game based on that. Like maybe the GM is meant to be like Garth Marenghi, like they are the author of the show, and then it's like run like a television show. There are a few RPG systems that actually kind of work like that, like Fiasco is a bit like that, where it's like scenes, like you do the scene and then you like cut and then you do the next scene, and but like the GM is this really biased, like kind of person who has way too much control over this and wants to create this terrible thing that's really bad.
So fun.
Everyone kind of has to go like along with it, so everyone else is like, you have the RPGs, you have the sections where you're like filming the show, and then you have the part where like it's like the documentary bit where you're like relaying your experiences of working on the show, and you can be like either totally transparent about the experience or you kind of buy into like the you know, the GM's vision. But I just think a Garth Marenghi's Dark Place RPG would be amazing. Have you two seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place?
No, but you're selling this RPG to me.
It's so good. It's so funny. Like, it's amazing. I really thoroughly recommend it. It's like, it's very I mean, I like it particularly because my brother and I used to watch old episodes of Doctor Who. Like, so I have a kind of fondness for that kind of crap, like especially like crap CGI.
Yeah,
like
when
low budget sci-fi
glued onto the wall. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
When you
and the music.
When you say old, Meehan, sorry, do you mean like Russell T Davies old? Do you mean like old?
No,
okay,
I mean like 1960s, like 70s Doctor Who, like, you know, where like one of the monsters is made of, looks like a spaghetti monster, and it's like made out of like looks like it's made out of pipe cleaners.
And
you
it
know?
100% is. But like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
crafty. It's great.
Where they had
crafty monster.
absolutely no budget, or there's like one of the monsters is just a giant maggot that's just not actually giant. It's just being like filmed in a certain way.
Yeah.
And then they have a little animatronic, and it just all it does is just like squirm a bit. And the woman is just like screaming, and then it turns to the maggot just like squirming a bit.
Yeah.
You know that's the best they can make it do. They
Yeah.
can't make it do anything other
Like
than
for the
like,
time, they were like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, this is genius. This is groundbreaking."
Yeah, and the music's like doom, 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 and it's like it's like someone's pressing a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, I would love a Garth Marenghi's Dark Place RPG. People have put some suggestions in the chat.
Yeah.
One of them, obviously, someone put Carry On Rolling because we have to have someone. Carry On.
Yes, man, you'll love it.
For people who are new to the podcast or like Dicebreaker in general, there's this assumption that I've watched every single Carry On film.
A correct assumption.
Yeah, it's like
It's very wrong.
facts.
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 Said text.
It's very incorrect. If you don't know what Carry On is, it's a series of films that were released probably between like the 1960s to like 80s. That mostly about 99.9% bad.
They're very, very, very problematic. More problematic than Glee.
Yeah.
And so it's so shocking that Meehan loves them as much as she does.
I didn't. Other people have suggested Blackadder RPG. I must admit, I do have a great fondness for Blackadder. Unfortunately, Rowan Atkinson is a big prick.
I just wasn't expecting the P word, that's all.
Yeah, I was going to say something else, but I didn't. He's got stupid opinions and trying once again an older comedian who's trying to stay relevant by being offensive, because that's what you do now. And then you get something like Man versus Bee on Netflix, and I'm sure like is a magnum opus.
I've watched all of Man versus Bee.
Liv,
I watched all of it. It's just like we already have Mouse Hunt, so why?
I mean, we've already got the film Mouse Hunt, which is very good.
We've got the perfection that is Mouse Hunt. Why do we need
Mouse Hunt? An excellent film. Why do we need this? Stop paying Rowan Atkinson. But I do really love Blackadder. Like as a, I will say, and I might have forgotten things. Blackadder's pretty not. Like it's actually aged really well, which is another thing where I'm like, why are you saying like, you can't say we couldn't make Blackadder now. You could, like, Blackadder's perfectly, from what I remember, I'm pretty sure it's not really fine. Like, if anything, it's making fun of like institutions like the church and the monarchy and things like that, which would, which I think people would be fine with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Blackadder's a good pick. I do really like Blackadder. People have said What We Do in the Shadows. There's actually, as someone mentioned, we played an RPG called Low Stakes.
Actually, GM by Meehan, and very nicely done. Yeah.
There's a video you can watch where we play Low Stakes, which is basically What We Do in the Shadows, but powered by the Apocalypse. So that's the system that like loads of games are based on, like Avatar Legend, etc.
Speaking of Twilight stuff, I based my character on Twilight stuff, so
love it.
Yeah, it all comes back around, really. All roads lead to Twilight.
I think it was the first RPG I did on the channel, so
amazing.
That's great.
Red Dwarf, says Mark Lee Hurry. I watched a bit of Red Dwarf. It's one of those things that was on UK TV Gold back in the day, and I can't remember a huge amount about it, but I know it's got a cult following. I think it was rebooted or revived recently or something. But that's like that's another sci-fi themed comedy. That's pretty good. Someone said GBI, Ghostbusters International. I don't know what that is.
Well, it's Ghostbusters. That we know.
Yeah.
International.
Rick and Morty RPG. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there's the D&D.
There's a D&D like offshoot kind of thing. Yeah.
Module that's like Rick and Morty themed.
You could definitely do a lasers and feelings type thing for something like that.
Yeah, except does Rick have any feelings? So like, would your characters based around it have a
laser then?
But surely it would just
all laser. That's true.
It would just be called Rick and Morty, right? Or Rick or Morty.
Right. Yeah, and then you do something really Rick.
And then Morty being feelings, right?
Yeah, perfect. There we go. That's your hack.
Yeah.
I don't watch Rick and Morty, but I still find it amazing that like the creators, such a baller move where they were like, oh, here's the new episode of Rick and Morty. And what it actually was a YouTube video made by, they'd hired someone who makes these really very weird YouTube videos that's like Australian, and the illustration is really awful, and they're like, oh, this is the new episode of Rick and Morty, the official creators, and they directed like all the fans to that, and the fans were really angry because it was just not, it was this weird video that they hired someone to make,
because the fans have ruined everything.
Oh yeah, just a baller move of like trolling their own.
The fans deserve to be punished. If they want to fight some McDonald's people over like Szechuan sauce, then they can get trolled. That's fine.
Barbara Rowley says, I've never recovered from learning that Sid James was South African. Do you know who Sid James is? He was one of like the main comedians who was in a Carry On, basically. Like,
oh, what? Oh yeah, what the awful? Oh, what? Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know he was South African either, so that's a new thing. He was originally in a show that my dad has a very big fondness for called Hancock's Half Hour, which is a 1950s radio comedy show.
Okay.
That my dad had on tape and he would play in the car for us. Yeah, imagine not a 1950s comedy show. It was actually quite good. Like it was funny. Like it was based it was on the premise of that classic comedy thing where the main character is like someone who is kind of insufferable, where they're like you're not really meant to sympathize with them all that much because they're which a lot of British comedy particularly, and more recent US comedy, it's kind of like a Always Sunny or a Curb Your Enthusiasm or Arrested Development, you know, those kind of shows where like the main characters are kind of fundamentally dislikable, but bad things then happen to them, so you're kind of like, this is fine.
Good. Based on something like that would be really fun as well. Like just making bad characters and letting bad things happen to them, making bad choices. Always.
Yeah. I mean,
by the badness. Yeah.
I tried to watch the first season of Always Sunny, and like I did not enjoy it.
Do you know?
But I was right there with you. I was like, why am I watching this? This is terrible. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I get it now. Like you just have to stick it out.
Apparently, I had to skip to season 3 or something, and then it's good.
When it has Danny DeVito in it, hell yeah.
When it's got Danny DeVito in it. Yeah, as people who follow Dicebreaker know, we're big fans of Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
D and D and D and D. Yeah, we've been trying to get that shirt made for so long and it won't happen.
Someday.
We just make our own and we just wear them, and then everyone's so jealous of our shirts that they'll be begging for them.
You should make more, and then we get sued by Danny DeVito.
He wouldn't. He'd love it.
Yeah,
he'd probably love it. Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone have any other suggestions, or?
I mean, there's two very different vibes, but also two ways you could play the same thing. So like either a thick of it or Parks and Rec style thing where you're like a hapless government employee trying to deal with like local government things going wrong. I think like bureaucracy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be quite fun.
Having to jump through the red tape of it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that kind of like having to deal with the frustration, the banality of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And those kind of different characters. I'm sure there would be like people would probably love like I don't really watch it, but I'm sure people would love a US Office roleplay game.
Yeah.
Like with different roles based on the different kind of characters.
Yeah. Would it feel too real to come home from your office job to sit and play Office RPG? I'm gonna go to the water cooler. I did this.
I think there should be an RPG based on Liv having to like wrangle and handle Biscuit, and it'll be called Don't Do That, Biscuit.
Nobody wants that. It's not fun for anyone. Nobody wants it. Biscuit, come here. He's just looking at me, and I know he's got a poop ready to go. I know he does.
Oh wow, we better wrap this up then, so then Liv can take her son out to do a poo.
Oh, he's escaped.
Liv's gonna go and run to get her son.
Yes.
And to make sure he's doing a poo in their flat.
Yeah.
This is thrilling stuff, everyone. You're witnessing right here. Just a few more things to read out. Angel Beat says the D in Dicebreaker stands for Danny DeVito.
Yes.
That's that. Well done, Angel Beat. Angel Beat's figured out the secret that we've got.
We're actually called Icebreaker, but we put
that
is
100% true. Like fully 100% true. We can't confirm that. Also, Sam Dilk says if you put Danny DeVito, the People's Princess, in something, it's an instant classic, and that's why he should be in the D&D film.
Yeah.
We have discussed the fact that it should be a crime that he's not in the D&D film.
Yeah. If they make another one, they have to have him, or they've lost
He
all
should
of my
be.
respect.
He should be playing a bugbear.
A bugbear? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danny DeVito as a bugbear.
I just feel like he's so good at physical comedy. I would like to just see him like as himself.
No, I want to see him in the bugbear costume.
It's got to be just practical effects. It's got to be a short.
Yeah,
one.
no,
It's
just practical effects.
Okay.
I don't want like a big. I don't want it to hide his face or anything. I want him to be in makeup.
Yeah, we need to lean into every part of him because every part of him.
Every part is amazing. Liv has got her son back. She's wrangled the Biscuit. Oh, he gave a little kiss. Mummy, I'm sorry. I think we're gonna start wrapping things up, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your comments and suggestions. If you've got any more comments and suggestions for us, please once again find us at Join Dicebreaker on Twitter. Or email contact@dicebreaker.com. You can also, like I said, find some amazing articles written by myself, Matt Jarman, Trace Carter, and our various contributors at www.dicebreaker.com. As these two mentioned, there is an amazing video that you need to watch coming out tomorrow, 6 p.m. BST, on YouTube/Dicebreaker. Well, youtube.com/Dicebreaker. Or you could just hit the notification, little bell, to make sure you don't miss when it comes out. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And hey, well, there is Dicebreaker Plus that you could join. That you get exclusive videos done by us.
Yeah.
Such as you did a fantasy book. A list of your favorite fantasy books, Maddie.
This week I've done a list of my favorite fantasy books, and I made a silly little frog out of clay. So you can have both those things.
How wholesome!
Yeah. My clay.
Is there anything else you two want to plug before we say goodbye?
On Dicebreaker Plus, I made a little video introducing the boy.
Oh my goodness!
So there's small content involving the boy, and actually just seeing what he's like as a dog, apart from just a nonsense monster.
A gremlin,
little gremlin boy. I also played a little bit of Hooked on You, which is the Dead by Daylight dating sim.
Oh,
so that's up there. So if anyone's interested, you can see that. So you get flustered by how muscly they've made the Huntress. It's very muscly, very muscly.
I don't know what will.
Yeah.
You can find all of that on Dicebreaker Plus if you click the join button right now. you can get access to all those amazing videos that we put out. Otherwise, we are here pretty much every Friday, 2 p.m. BST live for the Dicebreaker podcast. So if you haven't caught this live, you can catch the next one. Otherwise, thank you for listening, watching anyway. I'm Alex Meehan. We've been joined by Liv Kennedy.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is Biscuit Kennedy.
Biscuit Kennedy's feet Biscuit Kennedy. Doing a little wave. And Maddie Cullen.
Yes, thank you. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me be here.
Letting you. Yeah, we allowed you in.
We were like, oh, shall we? Oh, she's been good.
It's probably going to talk about Twilight again, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got secret podcast. Secret dream.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want us to do the Twilight thing, just like email us. Just like all of you, everyone who wants us to do it, email us or tweet us. Yeah, they can't stop us.
Like season.
Yeah, it's the season.
But until the next Icebreaker podcast, thank you for everyone for joining and have a lovely day.
Bye. Don't bite me. Stop biting me.